The Google Gang Podcast.
Where have they come from? They're really good quality, but where have they come from?
Yeah, play a game with me. Show me a magic trick.
Oh no, I'm not doing the Irish shuffle. All you do is just like say, oh, put all these cards in your hand, and you slap them and go, hey, now pick them all up.
Is that the Irish shuffle?
Yeah, I mean it's probably slightly xenophobic. It's probably a joke of yesteryear. But yeah.
Is that why you can never play with cards with Irish people? So you just can't fucking trust them.
Oh no, I like the Irish. I was seeing an Irish girl for a while. She was cool. But yeah, like fucking yeah, Ireland. Let's move swiftly on.
Really? You don't want to talk about it? Whereabouts are you from, Bruzy?
I'm from a little nowhere town called Tilsley, which is full of very interesting characters.
I saw the name Tilsley on the side of a bus once.
Yeah.
It was a bus I was getting to Atherton.
Oh yeah, to Atherton. Yeah, shit. Oh yeah, you've been to Atherton. Atherton is sort of like Tilsley's slightly cleaned up older brother. Like it's good. It's great. But yeah, Tilsley's funny. Like the last time I was there, I had been there for no longer than about 3 hours. It was about midnight, and the first thing I saw was there's a big hill that goes down called like Astley Brew, and fucking there was a woman pushing round a chihuahua in a pram, pissed out of her head. And it's just one of the most Tilsley things I've ever seen. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Because I know you're home.
Well, that's what I mean. Because I thought, does that mean like she walks the kid on a lead? Like, is she that confused? You know what I mean? But yeah, Tilsley's funny though. Like, there's actually a really nice music culture there as well. A lot of bands going on. Mike Harrison, big shout out to him. Has like sort of nurtured quite a lot of bands. Like, I mean, Catfish and the Bottlemen were playing in his pub at one point, and it's just like when they were like just dudes rather than one of the biggest bands in the UK now, do you know what I mean? And that Mike's seen loads of those go through his pub in the years and like really did a lot for the music scene, so I'm gutted that his pub shut. But he was at the show last night though, and the show on Friday anyway, so like it was good to get to catch up with him. So yeah. So
where did you play on Friday?
That was
his neck and coffee.
Right, the coffee is done. I'm a little bit more upbeat now. Yeah, so the show was at a place called Atma. It used to be called Crack Gallery, and it's great because it's down like a little alleyway in the northern quarter, and like genuinely, if you didn't know any better, it just looked like a brothel or somewhere where you buy guns. Like it's literally just like big like metal door, and then it just opens out, and you just think you're gonna have to do like a secret knock on it or something. But yeah, but the space is really cool. Like very easy to build an atmosphere in there. Like the lighting's perfect. The sound engineer has always been fantastic. The bar, thank fuck, is at the back of the room rather than like the side near the stage, which fucking is one of the reasons why Deaf Institute as a venue confuses me. It's because like I get the seating at the back, so I don't have the bar by the side of the stage. I have it at the back so that if you want to fucking go and get a drink, you gotta go and get one. Anyway, I'm waffling about my specifications for venues, but
you tell them, mate. You're famous now. You're doing a fucking nationwide tour, brother.
Well, before it fell on its ass, like it was annoying. Like fucking, I spent like 4 or 5 months like really hammering that tour, and then like to have it fall apart in the space of like 3 weeks was kind of sad. But the 2 dates that we did do of it, the Manchester show and the Sunderland show, which is where I've just got back. Where I've just got back from. Well, technically I've just got back from a rave, but like where I've just got back from in the last 24 hours. So like. That show was great. There's a couple of bands supporting us. A band called the LOAs and a band called White Houses. I think the LOAs, I think it's them, were just starting out and like talking to us about songwriting and stuff, and it was cool seeing like the promoter James Doyle is like nurturing these bands, you know what I mean? And like they were playing covers, but honestly, man, like the 2 songs that they had of their own were just so much better. Like it's so fucking great. Like, yes, check them out, man. The LOAs, they're really good. So yeah, got off the back of that show. Some interesting stuff is now happening, of which I can't discuss contractually. But interesting times are coming up for the band and stuff, man. Oh mate, the story of last night though, fucking Sunderland getting into a car at like 1 p.m. after waking up at like 11 to then fucking drive all the way to Sunderland, unload the gear. We find out that like there's been some problems with Dave's and Dean's transports. They're only going to get there like 6:30. The doors are at 7:30. We're like, fuck. So like luckily we managed to do like sound check in an hour. And Sunderland, God love him, I love the people, but like it is the strangest place on earth. Like it's like the people are great, but like I don't know what it is about the way that they've like built the streets, but like one street will just have like a pound stretcher and a farm foods, and then like a fucking Heron Foods on the same row, and then like the next street along is like these beautiful old like red brick houses and stuff, and then the next street is just like, I mean, it looks like the bins haven't been collected since 1974. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's a real mosh pit of a city. I love it though, but yeah. So that show was pretty intense. What else to say? I'm running out of things to say now.
Fucking hell, mate. So, like, do you feel what's more important to you right now, music or comedy?
I think. Do you mind if I have a bit of that water? I think music has always been the more important one. Thank you. Coffee flavoured water. I appear to have sucked all of the coffee possible in that cup, so this just tastes like water. That's fantastic. Anyway, music definitely. It's always been, because I mean I've been in the same band for a decade now, so the music is always like that little edge above it. I mean I like doing stand up, but like I had a really important conversation with my friend Molly, who's basically like my surrogate big sister, despite being I think like 2 years younger than me. She's like, you need to find something that you just like doing and you don't care about whether you get anywhere with it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
And that's what stand-up is for?
I don't know. Like, I started off with that mindset, and now I'd quite like to incorporate it in a few years. Like, maybe my business model is basically just emulate Henry Rollins. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to do music and do like stand-up / speaking tours and write books and, you know what I mean, all the rest of it appear on sort of like, I don't know, panels of things and listen to people far more intelligent than me give their opinions on things, you know, and then throw in my 2 cents. I'd love to do stuff like that. Yeah, the comedy started out as like, I did care if I was good at it, but I didn't care if, you know what I mean, I'm not like constantly every day sat thinking, okay, this joke, that joke, you know what I mean. I do like work on it a lot, but it's just not the same as music, because like people who know me, like I stand up a lot, just jump randomly during conversation. I'm not going to do it now obviously because there's a microphone there, but like, and that's usually when like I'll have a little flash of inspiration for a lyric, and I just, because for some reason I find it easier to be creative when I'm stood up than when I'm sat down. It's very strange, but yeah, like my room is literally just me pacing. I just pace so much, man. And
what do you mean, and what's going on while you're pacing?
Because like
you're just drinking.
Sorry,
it's all right. Just have to explain the silence.
Sitting still is difficult for me in certain scenarios. It's weird, man. I don't think I have like ADHD or anything, because I could quite happily like sit in a class at school and like I can happily sit there and listen to a podcast and take in information. But I do realise that I do need to like, because my brain like is very focused but quite sort of fractally. So like, for example, at school I could be paying attention to what the teacher's saying, and then I'll nudge my mate, make it funny, look back, I'll be writing something down, back to the teacher, cracking the fun, and that's how I concentrate. Like I have to do like 4 things at a time, and then the information will go in, and I don't understand why. It's like on public transport. Like even though I know that if I just sit on the bus in like traffic that's going slowly, it'll get me there faster than walking, I have to get out and move. Like I have to get out and walk, or else I start going insane. Like I took a fucking...
So if a bus is stuck in traffic, you get off and walk?
Just get off and walk. Like no matter where it is. Like I could be like 20 minutes on the bus from my destination. I'm just like, no, I'm walking. No, I'm done now. Like, I'm not about sitting still. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just can't do it.
How is this for you then?
This is fine. Like, because I mean, I'm being stimulated. I think my problem is that, like, if I'm not constant...
Because we're engaged in an interaction, like, you're emotionally invested, not, like, physically invested in the task.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, it's, exactly that. And I need constant stimulation. Like, ask anyone in the band, like, as soon as you hear me say, I'm bored now, like, you need to start tying me down. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, I end up I can't help myself. It's like I intentionally get lost all the time just so I can see new things, and, like, I love getting distracted. Like, not from work, obviously, but, like, just generally, I find I'm in awe.
Would you say that you're looking for distractions? Like,
oh yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, that's a very interesting and observant question. Yeah, I'm looking for distraction a lot because, like, I don't really enjoy myself as much as I pretend to. Because if you meet me, I seem like a very jovial, albeit highly eccentric human being. But, like, I need distraction or sedation. Really do. It's like I get on stage, whether that be with the band, mostly with the band, obviously, because I've been doing it for longer and there's more of a emotional attachment. But, like, whether that be stand up, whether that be just writing things, like I write a journal, whether that be writing poetry, or whether that just be, like, talking to people. When I'm not, I don't understand the in between bits. Like, I get bored eating. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
even if you've cooked yourself the food.
The cooking bit, I love. The eating bit, I don't care about. It's really fucking weird, man. Like,
does the taste not do anything for you?
Yeah, it tastes good, but I'm just like...
Do you feel like your taste buds are not as sensitive as they used to be?
No, not at all. Like, I enjoy, like, food. You know what I mean? I enjoy, like, well-cooked food that's had time and thought put into it. But, like, the eating of it... If I could find a way of having, like, the food made and then, like, an IV drip and then someone just poured the flavour in my mouth and it was over in 20 seconds, that would be fantastic. Do you know what I mean?
You can't have a drip dinner, mate. Like, what the fuck? What's tonight? Oh, it's beef casserole minus the beef.
Because, like, yeah, but...
It's the bloody casserole straight to your aorta, bro. Why are we doing that shit?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, I would quite happily cook a meal. Like, Matt, you know what? If I ever got married, my perfect relationship would be I cook them the meal, they eat it, and I just drink one of those Huel meal substitute drinks whilst, like, licking the steak occasionally. Do you know, that sounds mental. No, like, you know what I mean, though? Like, so
you are mental. That's the thing. That's what people are starting to fucking realise. We're 13 minutes in and realise Jake's fucking mental. That's why the fuck we have this cunt on, because I do what I fucking want. Fuck Trump. That's what's up.
Bombs
You're
up.
in the house. Bombs away.
Yeah. But thanks for having me back on, man.
That's all good, guys. It's fucking Jake Breezy Breeze. Haven't even introduced you, man. I think you've just introduced yourself. Names are no longer important in this new age world that we live in, where we can speak our mind on the internet uninterrupted. Nobody is telling me what to say.
Yeah, that's...
Right? You look like you've just got out of fucking chemotherapy treatment. You're on the bloody leukemia waiting list. I'm about to be one of Satan's little angels.
It was funny, like, when
head on downstairs, bro.
It was funny when I walked in and you were just like, this is how I know that, like, you're a good mate. We're just like, you look like shit.
Look like fucking dog's bollocks, mate.
Yeah, dude, like, just with the, like, because I have this, obviously this is an audio fucking deal, but I have, you know what, we could probably take a picture of it later, but, like, I have this massive Soviet coat, and it's fantastic. It keeps me warm. It's windproof. I mean, one of the shoulders kind of cuts off the blood supply to your arm sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but, like, anyway.
Must be a design flaw.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's a massive design flaw. Like, how are you supposed to, like, do battle with a dead arm? You know what I mean? But anyway, like, and whenever I wear it, man, like, instantly look like ultra homeless.
Yeah, you look like turbo homeless.
Yeah, I'm turbo homeless.
You look like if homeless got on roller skates that had rockets in them. That's how homeless you look.
I used to get that all the time, you know, like now because I've got a skinhead.
Have you ever had people throw coins at you when you've
Yeah.
been sitting down?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Did you even have a cup out? You actually had like a half-drunk Greg's coffee cup and people were chucking coins in there and you drank it anyway because you were that thirsty.
I mean...
You sick fuck.
It was funny, like, because I used to have hair down to my shoulders that, like, I never...
So you went from one extreme to the other. You went from, like, looking like a homeless Hercules to looking like a fucking big toe. An infected big toe.
Well, that was the thing, man, is that, like, I've been going bald, I think, since I was, like, 16. Like, my hairline literally starts, like, at my ears.
That's depressing, man.
Oh, yeah, it's very depressing, but...
Why you come on here to make me sad?
No, it was great, because, like, there is a positive end to it, like... People were saying to me for years, like, dude, just shave it off, man. Just shave it off. And I go longer and longer, and I ended up looking like the Nutty Professor for a bit. And then it was kind of like, Nutty Professor? No, you know the guy off Back to the Future, Doctor.
If somebody asks you, do you want me to bring out when I come over, what does that mean?
Yeah, that probably means they're down to fuck.
No, it's a blow.
Might mean he's down to fuck.
It's 2018.
Bring out.
Yeah.
Oh, bring anything. Right, do you want me to bring out? Yeah, do you need me to bring anything?
Do you want me to bring out when I come over? What should I say? Crisps.
Do you want anything?
Crisps.
Crisps? I don't know, like...
Dip.
Can of Coke? I don't know. Yeah, oh yeah, bring out. Man, I'm that tired that I've started to forget slang that I've known for like since birth.
Crisps, a dip and a drink if you can. He wants to be a guest on here. He messaged me being like, please let me on. So to get the next guest, you know who you are, boy.
So you just
listen back to that.
It's got a skippy, that's amazing.
Mate.
So go on then, Matt. What's been going on with you, man?
It's my riding, bro. I've been good, man. I've been good. I'm in love. It's nice.
That's cool to hear, man.
Nice place to be. What's been happening in the love life for you, man? What's your opinions on the future?
I'm gonna have to be extremely cagey here.
Why, bro?
Because
you in love?
Because I'm a very paranoid man. But
what are you paranoid for?
Because like people will listen to this.
Will they though?
Yeah.
How are you convinced of that?
Because
do you reckon you have that much audience draw power?
Yeah, maybe. Like, I'm not talking like people like fucking Theresa May. I just mean like people I know.
Fuck you,
like,
Theresa May.
Yeah,
she
fair.
knows who she is.
If she is listening to this, like, just take a day off, man.
Yeah.
Have a think. Just take a day off, like.
It's all right to say you fucked up.
Yeah, like seriously, Theresa May came out and was just like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I think most of the country would be like,
on your razor, let's stand in a queue so we can thank her.
Yeah, I'm just like, alright, fair enough. But yeah, love life wise,
Don't be too cagey, bro.
So sort of, it's weird, man, because like I'm caught between two completely separate ideals on what I'm after. Because there's a part of me that thinks polyamory would be fantastic.
Explain polyamory to me.
It's sort of like multiple partners, but it's above sort of just having loads of like sort of fuck buddies, but below like maybe marriage. Although there are polyamorous marriages, it's basically like the concept that it's natural and okay to have romantic, emotional, deep attachment to more and sexual attachments like more than one person. I'm like a big proponent. I do think it's a natural thing for a lot of people. It's why so many marriages fuck up. But at the same time, there's another part of me that's like, but surely though, like monogamy is in the dominant culture for a reason, you know. So I'm juggling between that, and there's stuff going on in my love life, like, but I don't even know if I've ever been in love, to be honest, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you had relationships before?
Oh, I don't know if she'll like me saying this, but yeah, like I saw it as one, like, and it only lasted like 3 months, which I suppose I only considered her like my girlfriend for maybe one of those months. And obviously I'm not gonna name a name, but like I fucked up, like I really fucked up. Because things was going great, and like, you know, we'd hang out a lot, and she fucking rested my mind on a lot of things, And then I got too wasted one day and told her I loved her, and she didn't really know how to deal with that, because I think that she's more well versed in that kind of stuff than I am, and that was a weird one, because like I woke up in the morning not sure of what had happened, because like it's very, very rare that I'm quite sensitive to people and stuff and emotions and stuff. I'd say I'm fairly like empathetic and emotionally intelligent, but like there's a hidden side of emotionality that I can't seem to be able to grasp, like and I'm just like that woman made me feel things against my will, which that is the only way I can think to describe it, because usually I'm quite good at like wrestling it for a bit, suppressing stuff. Obviously it all comes out in a big dirty mess every few months, and that's fun, but like like the vast majority, pretty much all of my like romantic and sexual encounters have been quite casual affairs, and also like sex is weird for me, dude. Like I because I this is what I'm saying, is that I don't really find it that intimate. I find kissing people mega intimate, but
Right.
I don't
Really?
yeah, I don't really find sex intimate at all. But whether that's because I'm just doing something wrong, or whether there's something wired up wrong in my head, I don't know. Or maybe like it's just I haven't done it with the right people, which is no disrespect to any woman I've ever slept with out there, if you're listening. But like I just
Do you often send your podcasts to previous partners?
just like at 3 minutes 42 I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like no, in fairness, I actually do keep in touch with most of the women that I've been with. It's pretty cool. Like,
Is it because you keep a diary?
a diary. No, that's
If you get them to sign like a guest book on the
a
way
guest
out.
book. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
guest book on my door on the way out. Like.
Yeah, right next to the bus timetable. So girls know how to get home. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, breezy breeze.
No, you know what? I'm actually like.
Don't let the wind catch you on the way out, baby girl.
No, in fairness, you know, apart from
You drive them to the bus stop.
no, like from the age of about maybe like
He lives
18 to
remote.
20, I was pretty horrific with women. Not in terms of success, as in terms of
Be doing disgusting things with them.
well, not understanding intimacy, and I have a lot of remorse for that. There are two women in particular, one named Becky, one named Maya, and a girl called Safi, but that was quite a different story. But like fucking, I was fucking those two first women especially. I was fucking horrific to those women. Not abusive, you know what I mean, but I mean like I had no idea the level of sort of trust and intimacy that like the sex thing is, and like the sort of romantic relationship thing is, and like just it's like I remember like kicking a girl out of bed because my friend was drunk and needed somewhere to stay, and then she basically just had to walk back to her room like completely humiliated, you know what I mean? And like a friend of mine like was shouting about maybe I'd caught an STI of her while she was like sat no more than about 20 feet away, which I hadn't done, by the way, and I never thought that, but my mate just thought it would be funny to fucking do that, and she was completely and very publicly humiliated. And then I tried making it up to her and just ducked out on meeting her and talking about it, and like that's something that I felt guilty about for a very, very long time. The Giggle Gang podcast, everyone.
Mate, you're full of lols today, bro.
Sorry. So yeah, that's basically like. So what I'm trying to say is that in my love life, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck that even means. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm glad that you got a thing going, man. Like that's cool. Hazel's cool. Like she's an interesting lady. But yeah, so like, fucking hell, sorry, man. I don't understand this is supposed to be the Giggle Gang, man.
Nah, mate, it's the Giggle Gang that tackles the fucking serious issues of life, mate. We ain't playing games here. Not mucking around. Checkity check. Let's talk about creative processes, Breezy. Where do you go inside your own mind when you're trying to create a song or a joke? So like is there a little creative hub in there?
Yeah, actually, like basically what's funny is that like sort of when it comes to writing lyrics and comedy, like it's actually two very different processes. So like with lyrics, because I've been doing it since I was a kid, I have really like a mega vivid imagination, but like one that is on the verge of not being able to be in control of it. So like, you know, intrusive thoughts, it's that, but like all the time. So like, and so like I'd take little images of these things that I've seen, like little sort of like scenes, like sort of like a film will play out in my mind, or like I'm quite sort of visual in my mind, which obviously I know that's what thinking is, but for example, like with maths, rather than like 1 and 1 is 2, it's not just the logical thing in my number. Like I see 2 1s and then they bump into each other and make a 2. It's like, it's why I'm not good at maths. Do you know what I mean? Like because I use visuality to try and explain a very logical language. Do you know what I mean? And so imagine that, but trying to process emotions and memories like that. And I think pretty much like exclusively in cartoons as well, which is weird. Like I even remember memories like as though there's like animated. It's very, very odd, mate.
But they were real life.
Yeah. It's very odd. Like, so
you like self-animate and recreate a scenario that's already happened in real life.
Yeah. It's very odd. It's very, very strange. And as well, when I think about, I forget what I look like quite a lot as well. So the version I have of my face is always a little bit cartoony in my head until I see it. It's why I'm always looking in windows when I go past them to remember what I look like. I always forget what I look like. Like it's just really weird. So like from that though, you've got to admit, like, so all that is quite confusing. And then out of that comes like these lyrics that in my mind perfectly sum up what I'm trying to say in terms of how I experience the world. But to everyone else, it's like these weird layers of metaphor. But that's just how I think, you know what I mean?
So in this, where did you come up with the idea of you live with a bunch of yogurt weavers? Where did you get that from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now, comedy's different because comedy is like the polar opposite of that. For me, like the jokes come from just being really sort of bemused by the world and amused by the world. Like just the fact that I see situations. And if you think about any situation existentially, like it's quite hilarious. Like for example, like it makes me laugh that buses are just like land ships. Do you know what I mean? Like, and everyone is just sat there like just completely oblivious to the fact that the amount of like ingenuity and engineering and like and money that has gone into just making this vehicle, and we're all just sat on it like playing fucking Candy Crush. Do you know what I mean? Rather than being like, how is this happening? How are we all not starving to death? Do you know what I mean? How does the economy work? You know what I mean? I don't understand how everyone doesn't walk around all day thinking that. And like, so because of that, like the banalities of life being like, I express them, I think, in quite humorous ways. You know what I mean? Just because I don't know, that's basically where the comedy comes from, yeah. And that, and as well, like, everyone needs a bit of validation in it. I like making it. Are you cold?
No, I'm not cold. So basically from that, I think what you're trying to say is you write comedy on the bus.
No, yeah, right. I usually write it like at weird times, like sort of a joke. Because you
like while you're driving your school bus. Because he's a school bus driver.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I drive the kids.
Yeah.
The
kids have to walk 400 metres away to get on the bus, though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta make them work.
Yeah.
Gotta teach them young. Gotta get that ambition in them young.
That's right.
But yeah,
run down this alleyway. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, like,
it's disgusting. Put that coat back on. Hobo looking fuck.
But it's good though, like, I mean, shit, how do you write then, like, bits wise? Do you like sit there and think, I know that about you've got like the system on your phone, like good bits and then like, where does the inspiration for you come from?
Just day-to-day life, talking to stupid English fuckwits, and they just say real dumb shit, and you go, fuck, that could be funny at some point. Or I'll see something and I go, that's weird, or like a play on words, or just like a concept. I'll just see something and make a note of it, and then I go back and look at it with fresh eyes again, and you know, we roll on from there.
That's fair. Like I know what you mean. Like a lot of the world is very ridiculous in its nature. I love it. Like I love, especially English people, British people. You're right. But like we're a very ridiculous, like fucking race of people. Like we just, because everything we do is just in direct contradiction.
Can you think about for yourself the last like 12 to 18 months about what's happened, right? The Brexit thing's going down. You guys were in the World Cup. Brexit's going to happen March next year. Do you think in the time that you've lived in Britain, is there a more exciting time to be in Britain in terms of the absolute chaos that's going on? Has it ever been this mental?
Let me have a think.
Think about how crazy you guys went for the World Cup. There's all these
political issues. That's the most into the World Cup I've ever seen this country in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Although
this is cool that like me and him are here just for this part, and then we got to watch Brexit get voted on as we arrived, and we're gonna watch it in action.
Although that being said, I will give it to you. When Zinedine Zidane headbutted that bloke in the World Cup final,
yeah,
I think that's the only thing that's ever topped the elation that this country felt. I know it sounds weird, but like literally, we was watching that and Bonfire Night, but like that's every year. Sorry, but like fucking watching that man headbutt a dude who just ripped his sister. The entire English population of men were just like, you could hear it down the street going, "Go on, lad!" And I was just like, right, yeah. I'm glad that I witnessed this, but no, you're correct. Like, we're living in possibly the most exciting and insane time there has ever been to be in this country, especially considering that like the youth have never been this galvanized and into politics. We've got like a leader in the Labour Party who like is genuinely running policies the way that Labour was intended to run as a party. We've got the Conservative Party quite literally eating itself. It's like a fucking episode of Game of Thrones in there. Like. And then times this by the fact that the economy is absolutely tanking on its head because like traditional jobs are going away, and like they're replacing writing in joined up writing with coding in schools. Do you know what I mean? In terms of hours taken, and like my sister's school at the moment has to finish an hour, but at the same time, my sister's school now has to finish an hour early on a Monday because they can't afford to fucking like pay the staff the full time. They have to make cuts, so they have to finish school an hour early. Like, how fucking insane is that?
Really?
Yeah. So like, and like, but this is what I'm saying. But at the same time, we've got this amazing sort of. I think we're seeing like music in the UK really starting to like pick up again in terms of like there's so many different people and genres like hitting it. There's lots of like new underground stuff coming up, but also like you say the Brexit thing. I mean, and as well like the possibility that Scotland could be an independent nation, and like that's fucking nuts, dude. Which would be a shame because I do quite like the idea of Great Britain. I think I'd miss the Scots. I mean, the Welsh can go fuck themselves, but like, I'd miss the Scots. No, I'm only joking, Welsh people. I love you. I love you very much. Especially a woman called Rosie Hamilton and her fiance. Their band, Terry and the Super Cools, played our Manchester show, and it's one of the most mind-blowing performances I've seen. It was so fucking good.
And they're Irish?
No, they're Welsh.
Oh, they're Welsh.
Yeah, right. And like, no, I'm honestly, I speak in jest. Like, I love the Welsh. They're quite possibly like.
They're better than the English.
Yeah, I think they actually are better. I like the English and I enjoy being English, but I think the Welsh are probably my favourite of the British nations because I've like, especially the people who live a little bit out of the cities, because everyone seems to have this really intrinsic sort of connection to nature and art and stuff that I don't think as many English people possess anymore. Like, we like the countryside, but the Welsh like live the countryside. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. But yeah, sorry, that's again a very meandering. Do you see what I mean now about the way my mind works? Like, that was a very meandering question to answer to quite a simple question.
I didn't think it was very Satsuma. Do you call it a Satsuma or a mandarin?
I mean, I just call it a small orange. Oh. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're crazy, bro.
I'm not like. I just like usually it's just like one of them little things. It's the same way that like. I just think I think we go too complicated. Like, I get that the need that things need to be classified, but for me, like, a monkey's a monkey.
Yeah.
An orangutan is orangutan. We don't need like the Bengali orangutan. You know what I mean? Like Siberian tiger. It's just a white tiger, mate.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a tiger. Chill out.
Yeah.
I think if we did that, less things would be endangered because there'd be more in each category. Yeah. I've solved the problem. There you go.
Bang. You just got knowledge. Chick, boom. Up in here. What's your opinions on war, Jake Breeze?
War? Oh, that's an interesting one. It depends. What do you mean?
Current conflicts that the United Kingdom are involved in.
I think Afghanistan was a mistake. Iraq possibly could be justified. I think if we went into Iraq for because like one of my strongest memories as a kid is watching on the news like when Iraq was really kicking off and people like bombing cities and stuff, and like it was really weird because in fairness I wanted to be a soldier for a long time. Like conflict turns me on, like not in a sexual way, although maybe a little bit. I'm not talking about I get a hard on to like the news. I mean sort of like intense sort of.
The film The Hurt Locker is like your favourite porn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think war is a difficult one because we've been doing it for so long. But like, sorry, to get back on Iraq, like Iraq definitely not justified. Afghanistan, I don't think justified. Especially if you look at people like Hamid Karzai, who was like the guy for the West in and around Afghanistan, and then you've got Massoud as well, who was like this leader of an armed force that kind of quite liberal Western ideas, and I think he was quite left wing as well. But like, there's a book called I think it's like Around the Country, One Man on a Motorcycle. It's like the story of Hamid Karzai and how like a lot of the Afghanistan conflict could have been avoided if we would have just understood Afghan tribal relationships rather than viewing them as like primitive. Yeah. Realize how complex they are. Like, Afghanistan's like one of my favorite countries on earth. Like, it's like such an interesting place to learn about. I really want to go one day. So I think that like to send in a conventional military force into somewhere which has such like tenuous tribal links with each other already and armed links at that was always going to be a fucking insane idea. And there's like a really interesting talk about it. It's one of the Reef lectures where there's a guy saying that like before the war in Afghanistan, if you asked a person why they pray 5 times a day, they'd be like, oh, because that's what we do in our village. Or if you ask them after the war in Afghanistan, why do you pray 5 times a day? It's like, oh, because I'm a Muslim, because like that is what you can hang on to. Like religion is a very good unifier. So like, obviously these tribal relations don't matter as much when it feels like there's an invader in your country. So like therefore the knock-on effect of that is that we see this radicalist and I will definitely make the point, extreme minority, like extremist Islamic fundamentalism is actually a direct fucking consequence of what we're doing. And you look at the same in the Middle East in general, like the fucking Balfour Declaration and stuff like that. Like we're chopping up countries down lines that are geographical rather than cultural, and that's just a recipe for conflict. But that being said, though, I do think that war is going to be a part of humanity for until we either combine with machines or until there is a world government or some kind of world, like until like we have like the world flag is our flag, until we like break down nation, which I don't see happening for at least 2,000 years if our civilization lasts that long. I think that there will always be armed conflict, because war as well, like there's a really interesting documentary called First Kill. Michael Herr, who wrote Dispatches and was like a lead supervisor on Apocalypse Now, got it bang on, where he was just like, if war was hell and only hell, we wouldn't do it. And like there's a lot of things, and he says it like, I think I can quote this verbatim, it's like there's a lot of things about war that are very beautiful. Like you never know when you always know when your next adrenaline rush is coming. You're fed and watered 3 times a day if you're a soldier. That is for civilians, obviously horrific, but like there's a lot to be said for that level of adrenaline coursing through your veins, and that's what I wanted, man. I was digging that. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I want that. Like, I remember.
What steered you away from it?
One, because I realised that if I wanted to fight on my terms. So like I considered joining the YPG or fighting ISIS in Syria. Obviously nowhere near as well equipped as Her Majesty's Armed Forces. Do you know what I mean? But like it would mean that I'm fighting for something that was more ideological rather than I suppose you could argue that all wars are ideological. But basically like what steered me away from it was the fact that I got diagnosed with paranoia and stuff. And also I thought to myself, like, after college, I was like, right, I could join as an officer now. No, I'm going to wait, I'm going to do uni. And I finished uni and I was like, I could join as an officer now. You know what I mean? And I thought, because I needed something to straighten me out, but the music was just calling. I think the music basically steered me away from it. Because, like, it was like there's 2 halves of my personality like constantly clashing, because you know what I'm like, I'm quite a fucking extreme person in terms of like most aspects of my life, especially like emotionality, and like under quite I'd say like a fairly thin veneer of me being actually quite a chilled out person, but that's a conversation for another time. But, like
if you say so.
But yeah, like and like those 2 halves of my personality were really, really starting to go at odds. And then I realised that like I wasn't scared about dying, I was scared about being maimed. Like being maimed terrifies me. Like,
Right.
I can't, because if I like walking is like one of my favourite things to do. So I'm just like, if you get your fucking leg blown off, balls blown off, that's gonna be shit.
Yeah. It's not a fun time when you can't walk.
Yeah, and also I think that like there's a book called On Killing that I think every human being should read at some point. And it's just talking to people and like a psychological study of like what it means to kill another human being, and like how most people, apart from 3% of psychopaths, will like vomit the first time they kill another human being, like across the board.
Really?
And, yeah, like honestly.
How many people do they have to kill to figure that out?
Well, it's just through testimony, in fairness. How many people are just like, okay, and another one. Next.
Looking for uni students for murder investigation. Pay $400 and 1 month's free rent while we look for someone else to take your room. Come on down to the gym hall, 3 p.m. Sunday. You know, cunts are just getting slain for a bloody tuck shop voucher. Tell you one thing, mate, that's fucked. So Breezy, you're a bit of a weird cunt when it comes to clothing and shit. You've got like bloody check military pants. You've got all sorts of shit. Where do you buy your clothes from?
All over the place. I've quite a lot of my wardrobe has been bought. Like a good quarter of it was bought just on the side of roads in Thailand, like when we were traveling, and then like. As that.
Did you not go to any shopping centres in Thailand, just side of road arrangements?
I mean, like, there are a few shopping centres, but, like, I quite like the idea of a dude just sitting there, like...
Selling hemmed pants.
Yeah, just on the side of the road, like, that's his deal. Sits there, smokes a few draws, and then fucking sells some pants, and that's his day. And I was like, yeah, man, I like your lifestyle decisions. Like, you can have my money. You know what I mean? And,
Did you ever kiss any of them?
No, but like...
Do you feel like that was a wasted opportunity?
I think so, yeah, because I was definitely for a while in love with a woman who owned a bar in Thailand. Like, she, like, honestly, yeah.
You strike me as that sort of guy.
Yeah, she was great, man. Like, Panji was great. She runs I think I've still got her on Facebook. She runs like a sort of food truck now in Thailand. Is doing really well. So like, big up Panji. And
Does she want anyone to come work for her?
what?
Does she want anyone to come and work for her?
I don't know, but I mean, you know what? I'd consider it while I was there to go and working for her. Or a sister who's Angie runs a bar up in Pai. So like, I reckon I could have one of them for a job if I was ever there. But sorry, back to your question. Like, I just kind of get small obsessions with things. Like I'll just, I always ask, like, I wonder if insert X can be found on the internet. Like I'm just like, oh, I wonder if I can find like a crocheted sort of t-shirt, and then I just Google it and I'm like, you know what I mean? And like, if it makes me go, I'll probably get it. You know what I mean? Like, and I do like I quite like vintage stuff as well. Like, my pals over at M21 Vintage have got some good stuff, and like, I buy from them a lot. But as a general rule, mate, like, again, because a lot of my clothing purchases are like quite impulse. So like, I can never remember half the time where I got anything. But I've got a fake fucking a fake Green Bay Packers jersey. I can't remember where I got it. It's just there. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's loads of stuff.
I know it's fake.
Yeah, but like, I mean, because I'm assuming that I thought it was real, and then I looked at it and was just like, hold on a minute. But it's the same with, like, I have a Cambodian national football team shirt. I've got two of them. One that's the real deal that was like $30, and one that was like $2 that is literally like, it looked that fake that I had to have it. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, that is that fake that I need to have to own it, just to giggle at it whenever I put it on. So yeah, like, clothes, yeah, that's about that. I don't know, man. Like, sorry, I've talked myself into a corner again.
That's fine. What's your favourite gig to do in the Manchester comedy scene?
I mean, you know what? It's got to be Belly Laugh every time.
Yeah.
I love Belly Laugh. Like, I think that what's nice about it is that, because I get quite bad anxiety in like the sign up bit of open mics.
Yeah.
It's why I think Anna's noticed it. I think Tuesday Tony definitely noticed it. Like, it's why I always usually ask Phil to sign me up. I just be like, oh, listen, can you just put my name down when you put yours down? Yeah. Because like, I always get a weird feeling of like, oh fuck, like, when I'm like, because
is it because you think they're gonna reject you?
A little bit, and there's another part of me that's like,
they'll let anyone perform though, bro, and you're actually alright. They let a guy get up and do bloody sing songs with cutouts of Theresa May.
What?
Oh, it was madness. And then the week before he got up and he just didn't say anything, and he just mimed like doing stand up. He didn't speak. And the week before that, he tried to stack potatoes on top of each other.
I love this is why
man, they're not rejecting you.
Oh no,
they're not rejecting anybody. Then they shouldn't, because everyone's art should be able to shine. But that cunt's fucked.
Yeah, there is definitely like elements in the Manchester scene where I'm just like, there is a very fine line here between mental health and just like having a laugh.
Do you feel like the Manchester comedy scene is full of people with mental health problems?
Yeah, but I think that like Manchester is full of people with mental health problems. It's kind of why I love it. Like, fucking, we've got so many fucking crazies. Do you know what I mean? Like I listened to Joey Diaz talking about his podcast about New York in the 70s, and I'm like, it just sounds like Manchester. Just like lots of crazy people just wandering around. Like, I love it. But like, but as well though,
like The Walking Dead, but they're all like, hey, alright, kid.
Yeah, chuck us £1 for a burger, like. You know what I mean? But like, but this is what I'm saying though, like, but at the same time, I think that the Manchester comedy scene is also full of like some fucking uber intelligent people. Like, Donald Mackerel is fucking so intelligent, man. Like, he's such a smart guy. Like, you know what I mean? Dan's mega smart. Ben Silver's mega smart. And oh damn, I've just forgot his name. He played at Atherton. He does the stuff about Blue Planet.
James Heath.
Yeah, man, that guy's mega smart. Like, freaking.
He's beat the Frog World Series tomorrow night.
Yeah. Good luck, dude.
Ben Silver, good luck. Anna Spark, good luck.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, we'll know the result. Do you want to take a gamble now?
I think. So sorry, who's on again? Ben Silver.
Who's on out of our friends? Ben Silver, James Heath, Anna Spark. Michael Mannion is on as well.
Alright. Also Anna Spark, very intelligent and fucking great lady. I think Ben Silver, I think I may be biased, because Ben Silver, out of pretty much everyone who comes, like, is in like the class of 2018, I think that guy, there's something about his comedy that I'm just like, yes. So, but if we go in, I think he may well edge it, but it'll be a close run between him and James Heath. Was it? Did you say his name was?
Yeah.
Because I think that it's difficult because like both of them have very unique styles. Because like, you know what I mean? You got James Heath, who's quite like reserved and quite sort of like cerebral, and then Ben Silver, who's quite clearly also a very smart guy, but like he's kind of, you can warm to him a bit quicker because like he's quite cheeky on stage. You know what I mean? He's got this thing about him. Like, so like I think it will be like a very close call. But I think Ben Silver is going to edge it.
I've got to go with my Australian sister, Hannah Sparky Sparkos. Although I don't believe she deserved to beat me the first time. I think she's going to win. She's just funny.
Yeah, you know what, man? Like Anna Spark is one of my like favourite human beings that I've met this year. Like freaking probably ever, to be honest. Like she's like one of the few people who will just like pop up and ask you how your day is going. I respect that a lot. And like, and I meant no disrespect by saying that I think that I think it's going to be close between James and Ben. But like, I think honestly, like Anna Spark genuinely makes my sides hurt. Like her set at Everton was fucking unreal. Like so good. But and I'm no sort of like comedy genius, but I think that like the only thing I worry about with Anna Spark is that I think she's probably one of the best voices at the moment for women. Like, period.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but genuinely, like that woman, like the amount of catharsis that goes on in a room by women when Anna Spark starts talking, it's fucking awesome, man. Like, I love it. But my only worry is that like comedy clubs very dude heavy. So I think that the road for her, because I think she's going to be uber successful, but I think the road for her is going to be very different. I honestly think that like gong shows in general, for acts that are actually saying something that is like quite, not so much niche, but you know, like quite challenging, I think are always going to be difficult, because I think Anna Spark is a very challenging comedian. Same with Donald Mackerel, is a very challenging comedian. And like, not to say that James Heath and Ben Silver aren't, but I think it's just a different type of comedy that they're coming at. You know what I mean? And I think Anna honestly, made a good call in starting up MCing at what is it, Josh Brooks, Comics Anonymous. But I would quite like to see Anna do a weekly women's only comedy show, like weekly. Let's get a full roster of women every week. I think that would be fucking awesome. Like, because I don't think it's been done at all, and I think that the idea that like female comedians won't have the same amount of viewership is ridiculous. I think that they will. Like, the women's only night at Belly Laugh is probably the most busy it's ever been.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? And I'd like to see Anna Spark go do that. And like take people like Ruska, and again, it's not that I can't remember your names, people, it's that like I'm very, very sideways. What is she called?
Describe it to me. Scarlett Dobson.
That's the one. Tanned, quite symmetrical, long hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
That could be anyone, but I reckon it's Scarlett.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's got a real thick London accent and always swears at people.
Yeah, London accent, that's one. Yeah, like I think she's great too, man. Same with Molly McGuinness, same with Ruska. Like, what I'm saying is that like I've yet to see a female comedian in Manchester that I didn't like. Then there's
I've got a name. I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Okay, but like, and I mean Millie Gaffney as well. Is that her name, Millie Gaffney?
Oh, I've never met that woman, but I've heard of her.
Oh man, like she blew my mind first time I seen her. Like,
really,
so funny, man. Like, she had a joke about swing voters that fucking put me in the grind, mate. Like, fucking awesome. But this is what I'm saying. Like, there's quite clearly enough women comedians knocking around. It's just the fact that I think because a lot of open mic nights like can be quite fucking male heavy. I mean, shit, I'd be intimidated. Do you know what I mean? So like, I mean, I'm intimidated and I'm a dude, you know what I mean? But like, yeah.
Who intimidates you in the Manchester comedy scene?
No one in particular in terms of comedians. Audiences intimidate me. Although that being said, I don't mean this as an insult to him, but fuck it. I'm just trying to figure out whether I should say this or not because I don't know whether he'll take it the wrong way.
Nah, do it, mate.
Yeah. Actually,
it's James Heath, isn't it?
no, what's he called? The tall guy who does Shark. Not
Rob.
Rob intimidates me. Not as in that I think he's going to beat me up, but in terms of that, like, he's such like a presence just as a human that like
he's large and he's loud.
Yeah, and especially because like most of the time when I've gone to Shark, I've completely bombed because I was like still trying to figure stuff out, and like because he's that good of an MC. Like when I watched him, I was just like, oh man, I'd rather give you my spot so you can have 5 more minutes to your set. Do you know what I mean? So like, and I'm just like, oh man, but yeah, Rob Mulholland in it, but yeah. And then audiences, like, quite luckily, I've not really ever been heckled yet. I would quite like to be at some point, just so I know what it feels like and how maybe to deal with it.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, especially when you go on about a woman's teeth for 5 minutes.
Yeah, fuck that bitch. Fucking clean your teeth up, you know.
Dude,
who you are.
That was so funny. But it was the fact that afterwards, like, one of the things I do love about you is the fact that, like, nah, I'm not taking that back. Like, just owning it. Even if you know you're wrong, just like, I'm owning this shit.
Nah. I will never ever go back on a statement.
No, I love it, mate.
I'm the non-backtracker, bro.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I spend half my time doing that. Just because fucking like...
I only know one speed and it's full throttle.
But with either, it seems like a slightly more like logically calculated. Like, yeah, like I think that when you say something like slightly like outlandish, I think there's a lot more thought behind it than like is made out. Do you know what I mean? Because it is very funny. Whereas like, again, it's something that I envy because a lot of the time things just come out of my mouth like that seem to make sense as I'm saying it, but by halfway through the sentence, I don't know what I'm going to say by the end. Do you know what I mean?
Trying to figure out the end halfway through the middle.
Yeah. Hence why many times during this podcast now I've just sort of like gone silent because I'm just like, shit. Yeah.
Well, look, Breezy, we've almost done an hour, so if people want to follow you on the socials, mate, where can I get you?
I'm on Instagram now. I finally got talked into doing that, which is mainly just videos of me filming things that have broken in my house.
Didn't you get locked in your bedroom the other day?
Still locked in there, like fucking. I haven't got it fixed yet. I have to like put a shoe in the door, like, so like, I've just got a freezing room constantly because I'm too much of a fucking fool to fix my door. But anyway, yeah, it's Breezy RC. Is it Breezy RC? Is it Jake Breeze RC? One sec. This is very unprofessional. I'll tell you. If check out Rivet City on Facebook, that's the band, and then it's Rivet City Official on Instagram, Rivet City Band on Twitter. What is my Instagram name? Because I use Instagram mainly for comedy, so like, sorry, this is fantastic radio.
He's doing a really great job. It's like watching your dad try and find your mum's clitoris. This is what this is like.
It's Jake_Breeze RC. All lowercase.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's my Instagram if you wanna.
If you want to follow me on the socials, it's Matty.Shaw_, or just Giggle Gang, giggle.gang.podcast, giggle got dang, got gang, got comedy.
Mate, how high are you, dude?
Not even, bro. I'm sweet as, man. Right, we're going to go and eat some cupcakes now, and chips and dips on the way. David John Murray, I don't know what that bloke's name is. The next guy that's going to come on,
DJ Murray.
I think it's Jonathan David Murray. So he's got like 3 first names, so I can't remember what order they go in.
Is he posh?
George David Moore.
Wow.
I was close. With Georgie Boys up next. Thanks so much, Breezy.
No worries,
Mad
man.
respect, brother. I love you.
I love you too, dude.
Say hi to your cats.
What up?